Hello, welcome. Welcome to our webinar on the test tray. Thank you so much for joining us today. We'll wait just a minute or two still, so I see people coming on. Hello, Michaela. Let me know, each and one of you, who you are, where you're from. Thank you so much for joining us tonight. I love having, this communication together and getting together and sharing our knowledge. Please feel free to ask me any questions during our webinar tonight. I love questions. You help me when you ask me questions, because sometimes I get off track or I get forgetful. Hello, Eric. So thank you so much all for joining us tonight. I really appreciate, your time and effort coming on. Hi, Peter. So hello, Anna. So, I see everybody's coming on. Let's get started. Okay, so the test tray. Okay, so in our technology, the test tray, hello, Stephanie. The test tray can be used in several ways. All right, we have various approaches and ways and methodologies depending on your, scope of practice. When we say test tray, we refer to when a collection of substances or frequencies can be used during a biofeedback session to assess the body's responses and provide feedback. So this entails a vast amount of applications, as you understand. So we can use it instead of, let's say, the harness, especially for children, for like a quick way of calibrating and testing people. Here's the test tray, all right? Hello, Soren. Hello, Andrea, Gabriella, Tara, Yanka. Thank you so much for joining. Larissa, hello. This is the test tray. Okay, so, one application is, let's say, hello, Celia. So one application is when, let's say you have a child and you can't have them on a harness, and let's say you don't have the animal pad. We have the animal pad. It's called the animal pad, but I use it a lot on children. So this is a really good way of getting their bioenergetic field and signatures by just putting the little hand on the plate and doing calibration and testing. So simple. That's one application. Okay, so remember, the test tray takes in frequency, so it reads, but it also emits, right? And according to the tests done on the Nucleus, at least test tray, it measures a 15 feet radius. Okay, so it's quite a big array. That's why we always say when we're doing testing and we have our patient on harness, it's a good idea for you to go out of the room at least 15 feet away so that it doesn't also catch your, radius. Okay. So that's one way. You can even have your little animals. If you don't have an animal pad, you can put your little cat and its little paw here. Okay. That's one way. That's another way. I've seen people who, there are a lot of people, practitioners there that do group work. And I've seen people have their group of people, let's say they have 10 people, okay, and during calibration and testing, when they put the group in as a group, they have them all standing in a circle holding hands. Okay, and the first person and the last person has their hands on the test tray. That's another way. I'm just giving you ideas, right, of how you can apply it. Be creative. There's the applications are so vast. That's another way. You can, if you don't have the person, if the person is not able to come, let's say, and you've never put them on the device, so you don't have their signature in there, their frequency, biofrequency saved for the first time in there. You know, I've put people on Subspace and they've never come to me, and it's still, somehow it's our intention, and you know, we still get that connection there, and we'll be talking about it on our next webinar about Subspace, okay, work. But if you do want their signature and more an exact, their, you know, their unique identity, right? You can even put a piece of hair on the test tray. You can put saliva, like on a glass of saliva on the test tray, so that way you can have their frequency. Okay, so there's different approaches that you can do to get a person's signature in when you're doing calibration and testing. Okay. Other things that you can do, you can measure things. You can measure things like what? Vitamins. You can't measuring, and I'm going to show you how we read these measurements. You can put like a vitamin on the test tray and see how a person resonates or reacts with a certain, let's say, vitamin or substance or cream or whatever. Okay, that's also something that you can do. You can even put precious gems, like gems. People wear necklaces, rings, bracelets. You can tell them to bring some of their gems that they wear during the month, because usually the frequency that you do load on gems lasts about a month. So you can tell them, bring some of the things that you wear so we can put them on the test tray and we can load them with good frequencies. Okay, that's another idea. Okay, I'm giving you ideas of how you can approach all this. You can tell them to bring their creams. Okay, like women have their creams, or, you know, and you can put their creams and energize their creams with good remedies here within the matrix, and load them so they can, you know, be more potent as creams. Okay, one of the applications are vast. Okay, one of the most common application is putting a bottle of water. Okay, I like putting the bottle of water on the test tray, you know, and that way it's like they're taking home with them their therapy. Okay, and I'll be showing you how to do that. Okay, now here I want, though, to stress something that's very important of working professionally and working within the context of your specialty. Okay, within the scope of your practice, and with any legal restrictions that may apply in your country in which you practice. Having said this, I mean that in most countries, in order for you to sell or give your clients any substance that you make or that you seal, you must have a license to do that, or a permit to do that. So that is the main reason that I will share to you today whatever I can that you can use safely, okay, and correctly, but I'm not going to go into the special homeopathic remedies, though, for example, because you do need a license to do that, okay? You cannot make homeopathics and start, you know, giving those type of remedies that you're sealing and you're making, okay? It's a whole different, that's a whole different story. If you're creating something, you're you know, if you're making something and sealing it and putting a label on it, okay, that's a whole different story, and that you have to be a professional with a permit to do that. Okay, so it's only logical for those type of lessons to be in the specialist course. Okay. Because I've heard a lot of people saying, well, I've bought such an expensive device. Why can't I learn everything? Why can't I have anything? Well, there's a step-by-step process. We also buy a car, but you need to have a permit to drive a car. If you want to be a professional driver too, you have to have another special permit to do it. It doesn't mean that you buy a car or a device and that you have to know all the applications. You have to have for certain applications, you have to go through the process of getting to the specialist course. And that is totally logical, okay? But I'm going to teach you today and give you ideas of how you can apply it within this context, okay? And, and have fun with your device, because this is a lot of fun, okay? So during a biofeedback session, you can place the tray near the client, okay? And you can, I'm saying your client is next to the device, obviously, and you have the harness on and you have the test tray. And with the test tray, you can measure responses, and let's just get into the analytics. This is okay. So I kind of lost here. Okay, so look, the first thing I want you to do and learn is how to energize your water. Now, a lot of people have asked me, what is the best type of bottle to use? Now, ideally, you need a metallic container, okay? But having said that, and having said what I just said previously, is that you can't, put water in a metal glass and then pour it in another glass and then and another bottle and seal it and give it to your client. You need a special permit with that, because it's all about having the cleanliness and hygiene, etc. So you can't do that really. You can do that for yourself, but you can't do that for your clients. The best thing to give for your clients, either they bring a bottle of their choice. The best choice is to have a bottle that's colored, okay, like how the homeopathic bottles are, okay? They're always colored, because that way, if light sees the water, it may ruin whatever remedy you've loaded energetically into the water, right? So the best option is having a bottle that's colored, okay? So all you do is, after testing, okay, you put it on the device, and whatever you're working on, it's also sent through the test tray. Remember that by default, if we go into the system power settings here, by default, everything is activated. The test tray, the harness, everything is activated. So anything that you're working on is going through the harness and to the test tray as well. So whatever you have on the test tray, it's getting loaded into the water. Okay? Now, let me show you something here. Under retest here, no, not retest. Sorry. Under EPR enhancement, we have here, it says energize water from devices. Now, this also says point probe, but our Nucleus device doesn't have a point probe. The point probe is actually the test tray. Okay, so when we say energize water from devices, what it will be energizing is where you have the cursor, and also whatever you have loaded in your little blue box. Meaning what? If you want to make a little cocktail in your little blue box, you can empty, go to reporting and empty info to start new. And let's say you want to load, some Bach flower and whatever's like over 90, you can go here and say, add values over 90. So it'll, it adds these Bach flowers. So what you can do is here, go to EPR. I would say load here, report items loaded. You would go to EPR and energize water from devices. So what it's doing is it's energizing Aspen plus whatever's in your little blue box. That's a quick way. If you want to do a quick way, it just takes so little and it's done. Okay. But having said that, as I said in the beginning, if you have your water bottle on the test tray from the beginning, whatever you're going to be doing, it's going to be loaded and it's on the in the water, and it'll be saved in the water. And the water is great at saving frequencies, right? It's saving all those frequencies that is being sent from the test tray, and it's like them taking their therapy home with them. What I usually advise is, before they drink it, shake it, energize it, and then drink it. And usually, if it's like a 1.5 liter bottle or 750 milliliters, I usually tell them, drink it within the next 3 days. Okay, and save it in a nice, cool area, not in the light, in a shaded area. So this is one way. Okay, this is one thing of energizing your water, and you can energize it with, as I said, anything that you're doing. Again, same thing. Let's say with precious stones. You can tell them, put your precious stone, bring your precious stone, and all you do is put it on the test tray. And let's say I want like good luck. Like, luck. Let's say luck. What comes up in luck? Carmen, not bad luck. No. Let's say prosperity. Okay. Or how about protection? How about protection is a good one. Protection. Okay. And okay, here are some items for protection that are coming up. I could empty the info and to start new. And I could put I don't need to put only whatever's over 90. I can put whatever I feel that I like. Okay, for protection. Up to 8 items is a good one. Okay, and unload and load. Okay, and let's go again here to EPR. And you can either energize water is actually energized water, but we can do like a autofocus here, autofocus custom time, and put it like to 1 minute here, and let's 1 minute. So it'll take 1 minute to load these items here and whatever's in the little blue box. Okay. So in that way, I have my gems, wearing my gems every day with the protection and calming and what have you, energetic frequencies. Okay. Again, as I said, you can do the same with creams and energize those creams. Let's say you can put collagen, extra collagen in their people's creams. These are like little gifts that you can do for your clients, and you're not actually packaging them, so you don't have any issues, legal issues, right? I mean, because it's their items that they're bringing to you, or they're already sealed, the water is already sealed. Okay, so you're safe doing that. Right, any kind of crystals, if a person has like a crystal that, you know, they sleep with or they carry on with them or what have you, they can bring that every time they come and you can energize them. Okay, so it's like having their therapy with them. Okay. Now, other applications for the test tray. As I said, we can see if something resonates with a person or how they react. Remember that the matrix is, when we're doing testing, we are doing a reaction to all the items in the matrix. It's a general reaction of how a person reacts to everything, and they're put in hierarchy, right? But when we do an individual reaction on a specific item, it's a specific reaction, okay? And also including how they resonate with it, okay? So when we're talking about a specific reaction, we mean a specific response to an item, right? And how the person responds to it. Are they, you know, adverse to it? Do they have a sensitivity to it? Do they respond well to it? You know, reaction could entail all of that. When we're talking about resonating, it's the resonance provides us with the information as to the extent to which a person needs the item, either on an emotional level, on a psychological level, physiological level, or even a spiritual level. That's the resonating number. The number for coherence, we'll be going over through this. It provides us insight on the connection and flow of energy between the mind and the body when we're talking about coherence. So, you know, say if, you know, a person comes to you and they bring a vitamin like spirulina. They bring a vitamin, let's say spirulina, and you want to know how they react and how they resonate with spirulina. Okay, let's see first of all on the device where spirulina may be, out of curiosity. Okay, so it's at 88. There, you know, it's normal reaction. Okay, so let's go to, if you click on test an item here from retest, test an item on the test tray. Okay, it opens up this little green box down here. Do you see it here? So you can write spirulina here and put the vitamin that they brought you. You can even put the make, let's say. Let's say, I don't know, from what company it's like, you know, I don't remember the companies. There's a company here in Greece. Okay, I'm going to put the company, let's say this one here in Greece. Okay, and I put it on the test tray, and let's test it. Test item on the test tray. So it's testing the specific item that you have with a person, and we see the reaction. It's 101. Now, this we have to assess, okay, because on one hand, this can be a little confusing, okay, and this needs a lot of practice because, as I said, reaction could be either, you know, in a good way or in an adverse way. So we have to kind of also take into consideration the allergy reaction. This is actually stress response. Okay, we shouldn't mention the word allergy. It's not a word that we as biofeedback technicians and therapists should be using. This is a stress response. Okay, so there's a stress response to spirulina by 47%. It's not that much. Okay, it's kind of borderline. It's half and half. But I do see that I'm resonating by 83%, meaning that psychologically, physiologically, spiritually, there is a connection there. Okay, so I would say yes. Now there's another way that you can also easily also test it and make sure that, yeah, this is how it is. Let me close, and I'll close here, and we can go to the feedback homeopathic activation from the program's drop down. Okay. And here, okay, this panel is taught in depth in the specialist course. There's a lot of things that you can learn here. Okay, but the basic thing that's really important that you can use easily is here on the white line. If you put spirulina, it's the same thing that you have on the test tray, negrita, and I usually also put the amount that I do suggest, like let's say 1,500 milligrams per day, okay? And what I can say is test reaction of remedy. Check what happens here. So it's giving me only a 16% reaction or resonating. I'm resonating only 16% to 1,500 milligrams per day of this spirulina. How about if I put 1,600 per day? Let's up it. I take, by the way, spirulina, and I'm a big fan and I love it on me, but maybe I need more. Let's see, 21%, no. Anything under 50% is not suggested. If it goes over for 50%, yeah, it is suggested. So it resonates with me. So let's say if I put 2,000 milligrams per day, let's see what happens. There we go. So I need 2,000 milligrams per day, at least now. Okay, I can, in a week or two, that measurement may be different on me. But for me now, 2,000 milligrams would be good for me. Okay, but having said that, before I do suggest any kind of supplementation, I do blood exams to make sure, let's say, especially for spirulina, that my B12 is not over, or some other vitamins is not over the limit, just to make sure, okay? But there we go. Yeah, man. You want me to try 3,000? Let's do 3,000. Let's go over 3,000. 2,079%. Let's see. So even 3,000 would be good for me at this point. Okay, I need it. Okay, so this is a way that you can test things and see how they react with you. Now on this panel as well, you can also energize your water. Okay, like say if, yeah. Oh, yeah, 3,000. I usually take 1,500 or 100. I take it slow, but yeah. But I do feel good even with 2,000. But yeah, I know people who have also taken under certain situations, even 12,000, and it does wonders. Okay, so having said that, You can also energize your water from here with whatever you have put here in your line. Like you can put in your line here, if you load homeopathic remedy list, you see this line here, okay? It'll give you a whole new matrix on homeopathics, okay? And let's say we can go to Bach, let's say, and we notice that we have a few mentions here in Bach, over 100. Like we can make a cocktail. Like if you just double click, you'll notice that so I double clicked on 6 items and they're all up here. So I can make a cocktail of this. I have my water on my test tray and you energize your water with those items there. So simple. Okay, that's how simple it is. Other things that you can do with your test tray. Say if a person brings you something that is not in the matrix, something like totally new. Okay, and you want to add that in the matrix. Like say if there's something new going, and there's the PQQ, okay, with Q10, okay, that's going around a lot for neurological issues, and it's not in the matrix. PQQ with Q10, okay, it's not in the matrix. And you want to add that in the matrix. They bring it to you and you want to see if that's good, but you also want to have that in the matrix. What you can do is go here to EPR enhancement and stimulate reaction and duplicate remedy. Okay. You can take items here in the matrix from the test tray. So let me just empty it out what it's written here. So I don't just, confuse you. And I put here, enter name of item on test tray. Say if it's, it's actually Q10 with PQQ, okay? And, you can even mention the name of the company, okay, to be even more specific. I don't know, let's say it's now or whatever, okay? And you put it on the test tray. And what you do is activate test tray. Okay. Because you're doing a job, you're taking in that, you don't want any other source of frequencies being taken in because everything is, active in all the harness and everything. You're activating the test tray and you're taking in that pattern from the test tray. Now, the goal is to have the 3 bars at least over the midway section so you can have a good pattern taken in. Okay. You can do it a couple of times. Okay, so that we make sure that we get a good pattern, signature profile of that supplement. Okay, so I got 2 of the bars over 50. Okay, so that's good. Ideally, it would have been all 3. Let me do it one more time. Good one. Okay, so add item to matrix. Okay, and it's being added at ID number, index number 10,899. Okay, save name, item saved, and close. So where is it? Where did it go? There it is. Okay, so I've added that. That's another way that you can use your test tray, taking in patterns. Like say if a person has a cream, or say if there's a specific new virus. Okay, so you have the saliva and the virus, and you want to have, or there's even a person like I've had people wanting, us to put like a cancer cell that was in the glass. Okay, and we put it in, we took their specific cancer cell so we can invert it. Okay, different things. Okay, you can do anything that you can imagine. Okay, just, taking in the pattern and trying to reduce that stress around that problem, or, seeing how we react and how we resonate, let's say with a Q10 with a PQQ. So in that way, if I want to see if I resonate with this, okay, I can either, I can also do the individual reaction here. Let's do the individual reaction now of Q10 with PQQ, and I have it also on my test tray. And let's do the individual reaction. Okay, so look, I am not reacting to Q10 with PQQ. I'm resonating so with it, though. I'm not reacting. Could be a good thing that I'm not reacting, because I'm not adversely reacting. But I am resonating with it. It's over 50. Okay, so it's doing good. Remember, coherence has to do with how coherent my mind and body is, the connection of the mind and body. That's the coherence. Okay. It's giving me some additional information here that my system is toxic. Okay, and I need some, treatment, deal with mental factors and imponderables. Okay, and detox. I need more detoxing. Okay, but whatever the case, I can still do a quick zap, and by zapping it and rectifying this, I'm also adding, sending this Q10 with PQQ to me, okay? Right? All right. I can also, on the other hand, since I have this information that it's 72% resonating with me, go back to the feedback homeopathic activation, and let's say, put that here and say 100 milligrams, let's say 1 per day, and see, let's close this one, panel down and close this one, and test reaction and see how I'm resonating with it. Different ways. You can do different things. And you can put it on the test tray and 50%. Well, maybe I need 2 per day. So 50% is like so-so. It's not good, not bad. Basically, it doesn't do anything for me. And 2 per day is not going to do anything for me. You see, you think 3 per day? Out of curiosity, let's see. So at this point, 3 per day would be good for me, maybe for a week. Okay, so you see how that works? Let me see. What other applications do we have? I mentioned now, you can use a test tray instead of the harness. As I said in the beginning, you can use a test tray for, bottles of water and, giving your client, taking their therapy home with them, or, even the water that they're going to drink with you, that you can put it on the test tray and tell them to drink it after, making it therapeutic for them and for them to drink it afterwards. Okay. Enhancing their therapy with the water, with energized water. I told you about the creams. I told you about the gems and crystals and, vitamins that we may not have here on the matrix. Seeing if, they resonate with certain substances. So basically, those are the ways. As I said, whatever you have on the test tray while you're doing therapy, any kind of therapy, it's also going through the test tray. So you're energizing whatever you have there too. Okay? But you can do some little cocktails, special cocktails, like how I showed you, with the test an item on the test tray or through EPR and stimulate reaction and remedy. Just going over this really quickly. Okay, and we have more buttons down here. Let me explain these little buttons here. Duplicate to tray. Invert from test tray and invert from matrix. These, to tell you, these are a little bit more advanced, but let me just go over this with you a little bit. If you put something on a test tray that you want, let's say, a person that they're addicted to something, like something really common is when we do the anti-smoking protocol. Okay, when we do the anti-smoking protocol, let me just show you really quick, through the stop smoking, right? We have the stop smoking, and we go through this in depth in the specialist course, the stop smoking. One step in the stop smoking is that they have to first, only in the first session, smoke the cigarette there with you, and they have to put the test bud on the test tray. And basically, that's incorporated within the stop smoking, but it's the same logic here as in the stimulate reaction and duplicate remedy, that you can invert a substance that's on the test tray so that they don't want it anymore. Like the cigarette, invert from the test tray. Or if let's say a child is really addicted, or someone, not only a child, but anyone is really addicted to sugar or, chocolate or whatever, you can put that on the test tray and invert from test tray. Okay, so that, you can put sugar, white sugar on it and invert from test tray, right? Ideally, you also should write here what it is. So like I had Q10 and PQ. Anyways, I can put like white sugar here. And I can put some white sugar on, and I can put it here too, white sugar. Okay, put it both places. Invert from test trace. So I am inverting the need to have that white sugar, and it works. That little quick zap works. You don't get a rectification here, but it works. Okay. Now say if you don't have the substance, but the substance is in the matrix. Let's say you know that they are addicted to chocolate, and there's no chocolate here in your office. Just saying. Search. Okay, and there's chocolate here. Okay. So just by clicking it, you see it comes up here. Or let's put chocolate. There, this one. Chocolate, cocoa bean. Okay. And we could also put, we don't put it here because it's not on the test tray. It's only in the matrix. So you put the cursor here and you also put, it clicks here. So you can invert from matrix. Okay. Usually you want to invert something that's not good for you, right? Or you want to amplify something that is really, and that they really need. Like, first of all, like I needed the QPP, the PQQ, confused, PQQ. There. Okay. I have that, and I want to, since I don't have it, I didn't buy it yet, and until I buy it, you can amplify from matrix. Okay. That's not the test tray, but I'm just showing you other buttons here. Okay. So kind of amplify it, but if you're amplifying it, you can put the water on your matrix, on your test tray, and amplify that, and that way you're putting the PQQ in your water so the person can drink until they buy the supplement. Okay, that's another idea. Okay, the same though that you can do also with the invert, let's say the sugar that we did before, the chocolate. Say if we want to, invert the chocolate. Okay, say if we want to invert from matrix, okay, so we can put the water. Okay, this is another idea. I just thought of, there's so many ideas. Say if a mother comes to you and say, my child is so addicted to chocolate, and how I can't bring him here. What am I going to do? Okay, she brings you the bottle of water. Okay, she brings you the bottle of water, you put it on the test tray, and you can take the chocolate here and invert from matrix. So you're inverting from matrix and it's being sent to the water. Got it? So the mother takes the water home and the child drinks that water. Just saying, okay? Different things, different applications. You can do so many things. Okay. Any questions? Any questions? Let me see here frequencies that are really good, like crystal energies that you can load in your water. Okay, crystal energies. I love Narayani. The Narayani liquid light here. The liquid light, all these liquid lights, Living Grail, Living 13. living arc. These are beautiful energetic frequencies that you can load in your water and, or even, energize your precious stones, okay, and help a person, feel good. I like the Narayana remedies as well. You can use those, all the remedies, oriental herbs, okay, different things that you can use here. The healing arts are really good too. And there you have it. Any questions? This was a short video. I think I covered everything that I wanted you to cover, but if I'm open to any questions. If you think of anything tomorrow, whatever, just send us a message and I'll be happy to respond to you. Okay. In the meantime, stay tuned next month around the 19th of April. We'll be doing a webinar on subspace work. Okay, so I'll be really happy to be with you again on this. Okay, so I hope you enjoyed. I hope you enjoyed our webinar today. As you can see, our device is amazing, and there's so many applications that you can see and use. And if you want any more ideas or questions, if something specific that you may have, a specific situation, feel free to contact me. I love to help. Okay, thank you so much. Thank you, Vanessa. And thank you all for taking the time to be together. Have a beautiful night. Have a beautiful weekend. And sending you my love, always.